Hey, this is Angela, BMW Chronicles. So I am here today in my car. I'm not actually driving today. I just pulled up in my driveway, and I wanted to talk about something that happened today that kind of fell on me deep. A lot of people talk about being an empath and, I read energies and things of that nature. And I wanted to say that I don't doubt those things. Maybe you do, maybe you can, I don't know. But there are some things that go with that if you actually can read energies or if you are an actual empath. Like for me as a kid, and still sometimes now, not often, but sometimes, if I am at or near a cemetery, my ears pop. And one of my aunts that passed away would always say, she's Panamanian, married into the family, and she would always say, that's because you hear the things that other people don't hear. It's why your ears are popping, and I would always be, kind of confused. But I got older, and, these things would increase and they would intensify. So today in particular, at work, at the hospital, there was a lady there, and I kind of walked into her room, and she wasn't sad, she's always cordial, always speaking, and she never gives us any problems. And she was saying how she was upset because she had dropped her glasses and she couldn't get them. And we were like, okay, why didn't you hit the button? And she said, well, I didn't want to get anyone in trouble. So I said to her, well, it's their job to respond to you when you call. But as I walked into her room, it was so heavy for me. Like heavy to the point that I literally had to call someone into her room to take my place because I couldn't breathe. I was so overwhelmed with grief and panic and anxiety in her room. I couldn't get myself together. So, I left out. I went outside. I went to my car, and I was literally in tears, uncontrollable tears, because it was at that moment that, I asked myself, at what point do we learn to really have empathy for people? At what point do we really lock in and feel what people feel and not allow ourselves to become judge and jury? What makes us better than someone that we can judge someone's situation and feel like we're higher or bigger or, or mightier for that matter? This lady in particular, without giving up too much details about a lot of different things, is incarcerated. And I mean, if you're a criminal, you're a criminal. But at some point in time, it's like, at what point do we say, okay, enough? Like this woman is, had a stroke. She's pretty much kind of sort of incapacitated. Her spirit is always good. Her energy is, for me, always good. When I walk in her room, she's always smiling, always greeting, whatever the case may be. But today was different. Today, like I said, was heavy on me, and it was a lot. And I mean, again, at what point do we forgive people? At what point do we say, it's enough? I think that as a society, we've lost a lot of focus on that. There's another guy there also. He's there because some young boys beat him because I guess of whatever it is that they felt he did. But again, who selected you all to become the judge and jury? This man is probably 70 years old, and based on something that he did, right, wrong, and different, you decided to put your hands on him. I mean, we've lost so much. And as I do these BMW Chronicles, I want to put them together, piece by piece, and, and be able to, I want to be able to do different things. But as I go through them, I struggle every time I do it because I want to do each segment as its own segment. But it's hard for me because as I look at it, I'm like, all these things, they hold hands. All these things are one, whether it's communicating, whether it's how we love each other, whether it's how we empathize with each other. Like all these things for me personally are connected. Like I'm literally sitting here in my car trying so hard to hold back my tears because I'm like, okay, fair, you didn't cry enough today. Like, okay, no more crying. Um, but again, that is just me. And that's why I say when people say, oh, I read energy, no, you don't read energy. Unless you walked into a room and felt some energy so strong that you've literally been on your knees in panic mode, can't breathe, headache, sweating, you don't know what it is to be an empath. I can tell you firsthand what it's like. Because had you seen me today, you probably would have thought I was having a heart attack. Because again, this woman was smiling, she was good, but I knew that her heart was heavy. I knew that just based on all the circumstances around her. So I guess, today's Chronicles is just basically about, being empathetic to people, learning to get back to the caring part of it. When do we get back to that? When do we stop being so insensitive to people? We want people to care about us. We want people to care about our families. We don't want people to disrespect our this or disrespect our that. But in turn, we do it. I don't get it. Maybe it's just me. Sometimes I wonder if the world that I live in is just a fantasy world, if it's just me in this world. I once told someone something, and I need to apply it to myself every single day, and that thing was when we lower our expectations in people, we elevate our expectation with God. And I'm learning every single day, I guess, to just accept people in the space that they're in, because people don't know how to love anymore. People don't know how to care. Either they don't know or they don't want to do it. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out. And there are some days when I feel angry, with God, with the universe, because I'm like, God, why would you place me here and burden me with all these feelings, all of these emotions, and all of these corrections, and I can't do nothing with them? It keeps calling me, so I don't know how that's interrupting our connection. But I am going to go inside now. I've had a long day, and I don't want to be crying on live. So I guess I just want to say today, find it in yourself to look at someone's situation from a standpoint of, what if it was me? How would I want to be treated? How would I want my family to be treated? Start taking a second before you react in life. Give yourself a moment to really try to get some clear perception before you do it. Um, that's all for now. This is Angela. These are the BMW Chronicles. Thank you for riding with me. See you next time.